you asked me 60-40, or does it change from left to right? I feel like I use my right hand more when I putt than my left hand. I'm very right hand dominant, right eye dominant. So I don't think that that is a fundamental, but that's what I do. So I think I have a little bit more pressure in my right hand because my right hand applies the hit that I use to hit the putt. Question? Two questions. What am I looking at when I putt, and is it bad to watch the putter go back? I think I know the answer to the second part of that question. Yes, do not watch the putter go back. As a matter of fact, one of the drills I could give you all to try to do when you leave here, most people get very aware, conscious of their stroke. They like to watch where the putter's going. You know, if you're trying to get it to open, you watch it open or close. I teach people a lot of times to look at the hole when they putt and get away from being stroke conscious so that you can just look out there and hit your putt if that goes in the first time. And you'll find when you do that, your speed will get better. See how that one was actually the one I hit the hardest? So you look at the hole, and it gets you out of being stroke conscious. That goes both ways. They're tricking me here. I got to make a putt to convince you I know what I'm doing. Questions? Yes.
Change the ball position and stance, left and right.
This is a very good question, a difficult question to answer. Do you change the ball position in your stance for right to lefters versus left to righters? I can go a little further. You probably don't like left to right putts, right? I can get inside your head pretty quick here. No, my answer is no, I don't try to change my ball position. I try to play every putt as if it were a straight putt. So my setup, my stance would be the same. My weight, I always feel like I want the ball kind of right off my left shoulder. And most people struggle on left to right. I don't know why. I can't come up with the science why, and I'm sure Dave Pelt can give you a better answer than I could. But if you get into a trap where left to righters become more difficult than right to lefters, it's going to be hard to be consistent with that. But I would go practice more left to right putts, and what I would do, if this putt broke to the left, or broke to the right, I'd put a tee down right in the middle, right where you'd want to hit the ball, so the tee's in the way. And I would spend some time back here with that tee in the way, and I'd hit some putts left of the tee and try to make it go in by hitting it a little softer. And then I'd hit some putts to the right of the tee and make it go a little bit harder. And make it more of a game instead of more of a job. And I think the people that struggle with certain parts of the game get so serious and intense about it. Oh my God, another left to righter. How am I going to make this? Right? That happened to you before? I have a lot of players that have said to me, God, I'm struggling with left to righters. And I said, well, if you could just pretend that it's not a left to righter, you know, if this putt broke this way, pick a target out by here and just try and hit it straight at that tee. And that's a good way to start. And one of the things that's important to help you become a better putter is to try not to evaluate whether a putt is a hard putt or an easy putt. Don't change anything if it's a birdie putt, a par putt, or a bogey putt, or a double bogey putt. You know, I remember playing a long time ago with Billy Andrade, another tour player from Rhode Island, and he said to me, we were playing at a best ball tournament, the Fred Meyer Challenge in Portland, and he missed a putt from 10 feet. It was a right to left uphill putt. He says, I'm so mad, that was such an easy putt. And I don't think great players decide whether a putt is easy or hard. To them, everything is just a putt. Do you agree with that, Kevin? You know, if you try to make something more difficult than it is, it's going to become more difficult. So in your mind, and that's why it's important to practice and spend time practicing, can you go into your pre-shot routine, practice and imagine yourself in tough situations, hitting a putt. And that'll really, really help you.
You're learning that to putt with your mind.
Yes.
Do you ever have acceptance in when you approach it the normal way optically, so you don't land the ball?
Right. That's a good question. He asked me when I put the line on the Pro V1. You know, obviously I would have a Sharpie that's a little longer line. If I put it down, and I'm going to aim it straight. Sometimes, has anybody ever putted with a line before? Right. A lot of people do it now. A lot of times your vision changes. You know, you have what's called binocular vision, right? You look at it like you have binoculars this way, and then all of a sudden you're turning, you're looking at the ball a different way. Now, the line to me always looks to the left. And I don't know if that's because I'm right-eye dominant, it's just the way it changes. Some players say it looks left, some players say it looks right, but I know back here it's correct. So that's why I spend time making this where I want it to go. So yes, the perception does change from the different views, but I don't let that bother me. I spent a lot of time practicing that. Yes, sir. No. Right. Well, you can't putt that. What are you trying? Oh, that's to help you line up? Oh, right. Yeah, Scotty Cameron has one of these, something like this, where you can line the ball up and down. That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, no, because can I borrow this for a second? So if this were your mark, and you wanted to hit this putt straight, you could make your Pro V1 pretty much match that. That's what they're saying. Now, I'm going to say something now that's going to... You sell those things, but I'm going to tell you something that's not going to make sense. I like to use this line because it helps me visualize what I want to see the ball do. But I never line up my putt to where I want it to go. I never try to aim it. I just put it down. And some people think that's crazy, and some people think that's weird. But I don't try to aim the putter, and I know aim is very important to hitting good putts. There's a guy here named Kevin Weeks. Kevin's a PGA professional. He's a putting instructor. I've taken a lesson from Kevin. And you could probably tell me there's a lot of players that have bad face angles, right? But wouldn't it be in a perfect world? You wouldn't want to worry about that if you had to, right? So that's what I believe. So I just kind of put the putter down. I'm going to try and make a putt here for you guys because I know how to do this. Take one stroke like I want to. Look once. Look twice. Okay, but did I take extra time once I look back to the ball? That's a good routine, right? So what's the most important thing in your life today? You're going to take home, Michelle? Time. Well, time, right? But the last look back to the ball, you're not going to go through the checklist, are you? The checklist is short. And I promise you, if you practice a lot of breaking putts and see a lot of putts with break, it'll become more fun. It'll become more fun. So many people that struggle with this game that have a hard time. I see a lot of people here I want to talk about. They get that depth grip going, they get the yips going. You got to make putting fun.